Foundation is a science fiction television series created by David S. Goyer and Josh Friedman for Apple TV+. The show is loosely based on the Foundation series of novels by Isaac Asimov. The cast includes Jared Harris, Lee Pace, Laura Ben, Lou Lobel, and Lee Harvey. The show has 2 seasons. Season 1 premiered on 24 September 2021 and Season 2 was released on 14 July 2023. The premise of the show revolves around an intergalactic empire ruled by 3 men or possibly 1, depending on how you factor in the fact that they are all clones of the same person in an immortal genetic dynasty. The good. It's like Game of Thrones meets Star Wars and Dune to birth a space opera show with clones, mathematicians, psychohistory, and robots intricately blended together into an intergalactic plot. The world building and the cinematography are top-notch. It feels more like a very high-budget production when compared to its more modest budget of $40 million for the first season. For comparison, a single episode of The Witcher averaged $10 million, while Game of Thrones episodes averaged $6 million. Lee Pace's brother Day delivers a stellar performance in all 2 seasons of the interstellar show, portraying the middle seat and ruling clone in the Creon genetic dynasty. He captures the subtle differences between the various days across the ages or seasons. Laura Ben does a chilling portrayal of Demoiselle, the robot advisor to Empire who is thousands of years old and remembers everything. Acting a robot is not easy, especially one that has complicated directives such as Lady Demoiselle, aloof yet empathetic and yielding yet nurturing. You cannot watch the show without being drawn into the charismatic mad genius that is Jared Harris' character, Harry Seldon. It takes a sort of beautifully psychotic mind to dream up the psychohistory which Harry uses to predict what happens to the future, and against all reason, you'll find yourself being reassured he is the man with the plan. It's a thematically rich series which explores the corrupting nature of power, the inevitability of empires falling, religion, free will, and destiny. Season 2 is significantly better with more personal story arcs being revealed, which allows us to be invested in individual character growth. Although strangely in Season 1, Gale was the stronger character, but Salva goes on to have the more dominant role in Season 2. You might think you've figured out where the multi-arc story is going, but you still won't see it coming. The bad. The show plays fast and loose with the original source materials, that is the Foundation book series by Isaac Asimov. For those who like their book-to-TV adaptations to be exact, then this show will drive you crazy, as sometimes the only resemblance to the book series might simply be the characters and names, sometimes not even that. 3 key characters in the series get gender swapped. Gail Dornick, Salva Harding, and Demoiselle are males in the books, and in the series they are female, although their characters do not deviate significantly. The show has multiple plot and backstories that span thousands of years, which is one reason why the Foundation series has been considered unfilmable. Season 1 particularly suffered from time jumps, where you flash forward to several years later a couple of times, and then Season 2 begins 100 years later, and that means you won't have time to properly connect with characters as they're only there for a season. No pun intended. For continuity, there are characters who transcend the episodes, but after a while it begins to get a tad over the top. Clones, resurrections, consciousness uploaded to AI, cryogenic sleep, quantum superposition. You might even start asking yourself what death means in the Foundation universe. The ugly. Why didn't they just call it Game of Clones? Creon is an anagram for clone. As a reflection of society, the show paints a grimmer outlook for the future, from the robot wars when AI becomes more human than humans, to the age-old tyrannical situation where those in power exploit those without. I wondered about the casting of the spacers, who seemed to be only black women, and if there was any reason for that, and if it was not another manifestation of how people of color tend to get the roles with the altered appearances. Final thoughts. The show can get a bit confusing, and you'll likely need someone to talk to you about it to make sense of what you're watching, but that of course can be part of the fun, which is why I created a community on the platform formerly known as Twitter to discuss the series. Don't join it if you haven't watched all the episodes, as there's now spoilers in the community. Fun fact, Lula Bell, who plays the role of Galdonic, is a Zimbabwean Spanish actress born to a Zimbabwean mother and a Spanish father. Some episodes are directed by Mark Tonderai, a British Zimbabwean director. The June series by Frank Herbert drew inspiration from the Foundation books. Have you watched Foundation? Season 1, Season 2? What are your thoughts?